Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to speak in English, and I will try to be slow. So if you have any questions at any point, you want me to go slower or repeat something, please just raise your hand and let me know. I'm originally from New York. I moved to Athens 3 years ago. My parents are both from Mytilene, so I'm first-generation Greek-American. I live in Athens, and my work here is focused on ancient Greek herbal medicine. In the States, there are not a lot of resources or educational materials about ancient herbal medicine. So I write a lot about our heritage to mostly American herbalists. But I've learned that it's also nice to learn it, to teach it to people who live here, to Greek people. So I'm practicing my Greek, and hopefully next time I'm here again speaking, I will be able to say it all in Greek. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a few herbs, a few aromatic herbs from ancient Greece that they used as medicine. And we will be familiar with them today as well. So my background, I trained as an herbalist in New York, and I teach and write about ancient Greek and modern Greek herbal medicine. I have written 2 books. I have a couple copies here. One is a guidebook to the National Garden, to Ethnico Kipo, where I offer plant walks. I did one this morning. And then the other book is about 13 mountains in Greece, the history, the connection to plants, and the significance of the mountain throughout history. The first herb I will talk about is sage, phaskomilo. Probably everybody in the room knows this plant. It is a very common plant in Greece. In the States, our main herb that we use is Salvia officinalis. The Greek species is Salvia fruticosa. There have been many studies about Salvia officinalis and Salvia fruticosa, and Greek sage is more powerful as a medicinal plant. So we are very lucky here to have very powerful plants that can help us heal when we're feeling sick. The ancient Greek word for sage was elelis phaskos, which is where we have phaskomilo from. Ναι, ωραία, το ξέρεις. Ωραία, okay. So we still have the same ancient word. The word sage in English means wise. So the plant was associated with Zeus, and it embodies the wisdom of him, and it was also used as a good luck charm in ancient Greece. So it was something that kept away evil things. So similar to the mati today, sage was also used as something to keep bad things away. The Latin botanical name salvia comes from the word salvare, which means to heal. So the plant, the word itself, tells you what it will help you with. And then in the Middle Ages, there was a superstition that as long as a person had sage in their garden, they would have a long life. So if you have a space in your home to grow sage, then that means you will have a long life. Some pictures of sage, you all recognize it. And then a prayer to Zeus. To Zeus most high, I will sing of Zeus, chiefest among the gods and greatest, all-seeing, the Lord of all, the fulfiller who whispers words of wisdom to Themis as she sits leaning towards him. Be gracious, all-seeing Cronidis, most excellent and great. So we know that sage was very important in ancient Greece. One of the ways that we know is because that it was depicted in this fresco in Crete at the Minoan Palace. This is called the Blue Bird fresco. Has anyone here seen this in Kriti? Next time you go, look at it. It was depicted in this, and so we know that the ancient Greeks recognized it and also used it in their palace as a wall decor. And sage was extensively traded along with other herbs, oregano, mint, rosemary, and thyme, around the Mediterranean region. So the ancient Greeks were traded a lot of things all over the Mediterranean Sea, and herbs were part of that trade. There is an ancient Greek herbalist physician named Dioscorides, and he wrote a 5-volume textbook called De Materia Medica. The original Greek name was Periulis Iatrikis. Both of them mean about medical material. Today in herbal medicine, we still use the term materia medica to describe our pharmacopoeia, to describe the medicinal plant and its properties. So sage was a symbol of good health and fertility. It was used to improve our brain function, increase women's fertility, and it was also helpful if someone was bitten by a snake. It could help heal the snake bite. It was used to heal wounds, so the term is vulnerary. So vulnerary means it's wound healing. It's known as a diuretic. So when you drink a lot of fascomilo, you know you will need to be near the bathroom because it's a diuretic, so it stimulates the bladder. And it's also considered an antitussive. So if you have a cough, a consistent cough, and you can't get rid of it, sage is very good. It helps stop you from coughing. It helps you heal the cough. So it's very good for the respiratory system, the immune system, and topically as well to heal wounds. For women, sage tea was very good for the menstrual cycle. If a woman was trying to get pregnant or is pregnant, it's very good to strengthen the body to get pregnant and carry the pregnancy through. Dioscorides mentions that it was also used as an abortifacient, which means that it could be used to stimulate an abortion. He doesn't specify what the dosage is or how you would take it. So some things about ancient Greek medical texts are a little confusing because they don't give us enough detail to really tell us how the herb was used and in what way. There was another herbalist from Rome. His name is Pliny the Elder, and he tells us that when you put sage leaves on the body, it could help deliver a stillborn birth. That means the baby had passed away in the womb, and sage could help stimulate the muscles to pass the baby through the birthing canal. In the States, and possibly here as well, sage is very often used as an incense. So you burn it in your house. It's very popular in the States. I haven't really seen it being used here in that way. But the species in the States is actually at risk. So too many people are harvesting sage and they're over-harvesting. So the supply in the wild is becoming very low. So it's a problem in the States. But it's used as incense to clear the air of evil spirits and to purify the room. So this is similar to how when you do the Livani, is that what it is in your house, with the frankincense and myrrh? No, yeah. So when you do it in your house and you say a prayer, it's very similar to that respect. Sage was also associated with purity, courage, strength, and wisdom. So as you can tell, it is a very nice herb. In ancient Greece, they also used wine very often as medicine. So Dioscorides has a very big section in his textbook about wine that is infused with herbs. And one of the herbs he uses is sage. So he made sage wine, and he used it for digestive problems. He used it for kidney problems, arthritis, coughs, and ulcers. So it could be used as well. You can try this at home. You can infuse an herb in wine or vinegar or honey, whatever it is, and have it for when you need it. You can also use sage on the teeth. So you can take a nice fresh sage leaf and use it. If you don't have a toothbrush, let's say you went camping and you have sage on with you, or you found sage on the mountain, you can use it on your teeth and it will help clean your teeth. And for hair care, for those of us who want darker hair or shinier hair, you can make sage tea and wash your hair with it, rinse your hair with it. So that you can also try at home. And today we know that sage is very high in antioxidants. Antioxidants help lower inflammation in the body. It helps boost our immune system, and it helps our lungs especially. It's good for the digestive system. It's good to help balance if we are having trouble, if we're challenged with diabetes. It's very good to help balance out that issue. It's also very good to help us digest fats. So if you're eating a very heavy meal, let's say a brizola, sage paired with it will be very nice for your body to help break down the fats from a fatty meat. So if you want to cook with it, it's a very nice herb to have with it. Also very good for our cholesterol and glucose levels. So many, many uses for sage. Also, sage is very good to help improve our memory. And if we're feeling a little depressed, especially in the wintertime when we don't have a lot of sunshine, sage is known to help improve our brain function and help clear away some of the depression or sadness we may have. There have been scientific studies that show sage can help with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So typically when you want to take an herb to help with a problem, you want to drink it regularly, so 2 to 3 cups every day for 2 to 3 months. This way your body really gets the benefits and your body starts to shift in a positive direction. So your body will start to heal, inflammation will start to decrease, and things will, you'll feel better. Sage is also known to help women transitioning into menopause. So women experience a lot of symptoms. If you have hot flashes, make sage tea, cool it down, put it in the refrigerator, and drink it cold. So cold sage tea is very good to help relieve hot flashes. So most of the people in this room either will experience or have experienced this. So hopefully that will help you if you have this problem. Good. Any questions about sage? Oh yeah. So the next herb I will talk about is chamomile. I brought a little bit with me. We can pass this around if you'd like to smell it, if anyone would like to. So chamomile, the ancient Greek word was called anthemis, and the modern Greek is chamomile. Chamomile is one of the oldest known plants used in herbal medicine. And the word chamomile is related to Greek words, and it means a ground apple, or an apple growing close to the ground. And this is because of the scent of chamomile. It's similar to apples. So Dioscorides, our ancient Greek physician, he tells us that drinking or bathing in chamomile could help induce the menstrual flow. It could be used as an abortifacient, which means if you were pregnant but you did not want to be pregnant, chamomile can potentially help you. It could also help expel kidney stones. And one of the, again, the same problem, he does not tell us how much are we drinking to be able to do these things, and how often do we have to drink these things, and how strong does the tea have to be. So those things we don't know. He did not tell us this. The Latin word matricaria is possibly derived from the Latin meaning mother, mater, which may refer to the uterus. So it could be a description for what its use was for helping women. And Dioscorides tells us that chamomile had a warming, relieving strength. So it's a very gentle herb, but it's also very strong. There are two types of chamomile. There's the German chamomile, which I've passed around. This one is more common. Then there's also the Roman chamomile. So both can be used. So if you have one or the other, they're both can be used for the same purposes. So as most of you know, chamomile is very good for the digestive system. So if you're not feeling good, you have a tummy ache, you can drink chamomile and it helps relieve your problem. It's also very good if you have jaundice. So jaundice is when you have anemia and your body is yellow, your eyes are yellow, or your hands are yellow. And if you have problems with your liver, chamomile is a very good gentle herb to help your liver detox more properly. The flowers and leaves were chewed for thrush. Thrush is candida. Candida is a type of yeast. And according to Dioscorides, in antiquity, when pounded, chamomile was combined with rose oil, made into little balls, and administered as a suppository to ease fever. Suppositories were used in the butt, put in the butt, and then it could help relieve fever. You can try that at home. I've never done that, but chamomile is very gentle, so it won't cause any problems. You might smell better, but it won't cause any problems. In ancient Greece also, they used garlands of fresh or dried chamomile to ease their headaches. So chamomile is very good if you have a bad headache. You can put it on your eyes if your eyes are infected. And it can also heal with wounds on your skin. So again, if you were bitten by a snake, you can use chamomile. If you have a burn or a sting, chamomile can help you. And for skin or your teeth, you can use chamomile tea as a face wash or as a mouthwash. So very easy things to do at home. So today, we know that chamomile is very good for the nervous system. So it helps calm our nerves when we're feeling very stressed. It's a carminative, which means it helps our digestive system. And it's a vulnerary, which means it helps heal wounds. So on our skin, if we have a cut or a burn, it can help heal that. It's very good to uplift our spirits if we're feeling sad, or if we're feeling annoyed, like if someone bothered us and we just are still annoyed all day, chamomile can help us get over the annoyance and just feel better. For those of us who suffer from insomnia, if we have trouble sleeping, if we get menstrual cramps every month, if we just have bad digestion all the time, arthritis, muscle spasms, or hemorrhoids, chamomile is known to help all of those conditions. And surprisingly, chamomile is the most popular tea. It's estimated that more than 1 million cups of chamomile tea are drank every day. So all over the world, people are drinking chamomile tea. There have not been many studies in Greece about how we use plants here. So 10 years ago, there was a study in the Peloponnese, and they asked people in villages, how do you use chamomile? How do you use sage? How do you use mountain tea? And the herb that was used the most was chamomile, and people used it as tea. So they drank it as tea. They used it as an eye wash or a compress. So if you were to put chamomile in a nice cotton cloth and put it on your eyes, it can help with eye infections. You can do a facial steam with chamomile. So boil some chamomile and put your face over it with a towel. And again, you can use it as a mouthwash. So many uses. The study also traveled to Mount Pelion, and there they met with villagers who said that they would give chamomile to babies who were probably teething, so their teeth were coming in and they were irritable. So they gave chamomile, which is very safe for children and babies, and it helped soothe them, it helped calm them down. Any questions about chamomile? Oh, yeah, okay.
Can I ask something?
No.
In my island, in Edinburgh, which is Greece, they would use chamomile in oil and put it in warm oil and put 1 drop on each ear for ear infection.
Very nice. Δεν ήξερα αυτό. Και από πού είσαστε?
Από τη Σάββα.
Ωραία. Ευχαριστώ. Very nice. Good. Okay, so the next herb we will talk about is mountain tea, tsai tu vonu. I'm sure everybody knows this. So Greece has 17 species of tsai tu vonu. So 17 different types of this plant grow all over Greece. And each mountain has its own tsai tu vonu. So this plant is very special to Greece. One of the problems we are facing in Greece is that people, when they go hiking or when they're outside and they see tsai tu vonu, they pick it. So it's becoming endangered. It's an at-risk plant. So if you have land and if you can grow it, it's very good if you are able to do that. Because we have 17 species and they're all at risk of being gone. So the more people can grow them, the better. The Latin name Sideridis means maybe two things, he who is made of iron or he who has the iron. So it's related to iron. And in ancient Greece, they used this plant to heal wounds during battle. So if someone was struck by a weapon in battle, usually the weapon was made of iron, tsai tu vonu would help heal the wound. Hippocrates and Aristotle both talk about tsai tu vonu, and Dioscorides tells us that it was used to close cuts and wounds, and it could help reduce inflammation. So it was very well known then. So today, most of us have had tsaituvonu as tea. It's usually drank before you're sick or during your sickness because it helps boost your immune system. So if you have a cold and you drink tsaituvonu, it can help you heal faster. It's also very good for digestive problems and if you're anemic. So when you're anemic, that means you have low iron in your blood, so it helps you increase your iron levels. It has high antioxidants, it is anti-inflammatory, and it's antimicrobial. So it helps boost the immune system and kill germs in your body. And as I mentioned, it is at risk throughout Greece of being, it's over-harvested. So we need to be mindful and take care of the plant. Okay, any questions about tsaituvonu? Oh yeah, okay. The next plant I will talk about is bay laurel, Laurus nobilis, Daphne. And this plant is native to the Mediterranean. This plant was associated with Apollo, and the myth, as you probably all know, Apollo was struck by an arrow by Eros. So Eros was the god of love, and Apollo he fell in love with Daphne, but Daphne didn't want him. She was not interested. She's like, go away, please, leave me alone. And eventually she had to ask the gods for help, and they turned her into the tree, the bay laurel tree. This myth is the myth that is most depicted in artwork. So there are many pieces of artwork that depict Apollo and Daphne. If you go to New York, there's a very big museum there, and in the museum there's a life-size statue of Apollo and Daphne, and it's a very beautiful depiction of them. Daphne is turning into the bay laurel tree, her hands are turning into the branches, and her legs are becoming rooted into the ground. So it's a very beautiful myth that has become very popular. Many people know about this. Bay laurel was also used in magic. So there was a book called Euporista, and bay leaves were used in magic. So this one in particular I find very interesting, because why would you fall asleep? So the person who wanted to stay awake for this reason would write on the bay leaf something. They would write this term, konkophon brachioron, which I don't know what that means, and they would, it would help them stay up. So I found that very interesting. So bay leaf was also used for religious purposes in Apollo's temple and for fun. So the text that recipe was written in was a collection of recipes, which the Euporista, the title, meant remedies easily procured, or remedies easily found. So you can find these ingredients very easily. And people who were traveling around, traveling physicians and herbalists, would use this book when they traveled around to different villages. It also included remedies for women's diseases, especially. So today we know bay leaves are very good. They are high in antioxidants, minerals, and fibers. They help us digest our food better. So when you put a bay leaf in fakies, it helps us digest the beans. It's also very good for the immune system. So if we have a cold or we have a fever, drinking bay laurel tea is very good for the body. And it's also very good for arthritic pain and swelling. So if you suffer from joint pain, you can use bay leaves topically. So you make tea with the leaves, you take the leaves out and you put it on your body. If you have a bathtub at home, you can also make a pot of tea, a big pot of bay laurel tea, and take a bath in the tea. So this helps your body relieve the pain from arthritis. Or if you went to the gym and you had a really great workout, it was also helpful for that. Dried bay leaves are also very good to repel insects. So in your kitchen, in the bedroom, the bathroom, wherever you have bugs that you don't want, you can put dried bay leaves everywhere, and they don't like the scent. So it's a very easy way to do that. Any questions about Daphne? Oh yeah, okay. The last herb I will talk about is rose, triandafilo. Rose was associated with Aphrodite. I don't have one to pass around, but there are some here. We all know what rose looks like. So Aphrodite was the goddess of love and beauty, and rose was the symbolism of love, joy, intimacy, and pleasure. And Aphrodite used the oil of rose to anoint the dead body of Hector during the Trojan War. So rose oil was commonly used in ancient Greek medicine. There are a couple myths about rose. So Adonis, who was the lover of Aphrodite, was out hunting, and he was hurt by a boar. And Aphrodite cried about his death, and the mixture of his blood and her tears, a rose emerged. So it was a response to her grief and sadness and her love for Adonis. There was another myth that describes Aphrodite accidentally scratching herself on a thorn, on a white rose bush, and then her blood stained the rose red. So that's how we have red roses. It's Aphrodite's blood. There is a poem that is attributed to Sappho. She may have written it, or someone else may have written it, but it's called The Song of the Rose. If Zeus chose us a queen of the flowers, he would call to the rose and would royally crown it. For the rose is the grace of the earth, the light of the plants that are growing upon it. For the rose is the eye of the flowers, the blush of the meadows that feel themselves fair, the lightning of beauty that strikes through the bowers on pale lovers who sit in the glow unaware. The rose lifts the cup to the red lips of Aphrodite, invoked for a guest. Having curled its sweet leaves for the world, takes delight in the motion its petals keep up as they laugh to the wind as it laughs from the west. There is another description of Aphrodite. Aphrodite clothed herself with garments which the Charites and the Horai had made for her, and dyed in flowers of spring, in crocus and hyacinth and flourishing violet, and the rose's lovely bloom, so sweet and delicious, and heavenly buds, the flowers of the narcissus and lily. In such perfumed garments is Aphrodite clothed at all seasons. So Aphrodite wore flowers that smelled delightful all year round. So rose symbolizes all types of love we have for the people in our lives. It represents the beauty of the world. It represents our passion and our intimacy with our partners, and the many layers of our heart, so all types of emotion. You can use rose to strengthen and protect your heart. And if you have problems creating healthy boundaries with people, you can use rose to help you say no when you don't want to do something. If you feel that you are have a hard edge, you're always annoyed because you're just tired or stressed out, rose can help soften your tone and your personality and just help you feel a little bit more gentle with people. Emotionally, rose can help lift us during times of sadness and grief. It encourages love and compassion for others, and it has many medicinal benefits. So today we use rose as emotional and physical heart medicine. Rose is high in antioxidants, so it decreases inflammation in our body. It's very good for the immune system, and it's antispasmodic, which means if we have spasms in our body, arthritis or digestive problems, it can help relieve that. And it's nutritious. The fruit of the rose is called rose hips. They're very high in vitamin C, and that can help boost our circulation and our immune system. A lot of skincare products today for the face, you will find have vitamin C in it because it helps prevent wrinkles and it helps strengthen the skin. So rose hips are a very good source of vitamin C. Traditionally, it's been used for grief, loss, and depression. It's good for the lungs, very good for diabetes, and as I said, anti-aging facial products. This is a recipe from a famous herbalist in the States. This is a tea blend. So lemon balm, which is melissa, oat tops, I think there's oat here, I don't remember the Greek name, chamomile, lavender, and roses. And you make a nice tea with that, and it helps when we're really stressed out, and especially good just as a daily tea as well. So Rosemary Gladstar is very famous in the States. She's actually coming to Greece at the end of June, and I will do an event in Athens with her. I'm doing a tour in Kythera, and she will come to Kythera with me, but before we go to Kythera, we will do an event in Athens. So if you're interested, I could take your email address, and there'll be an opportunity for you to meet her. Last but not least, how can you use rose in your life? You can make an herbal tea. You can take the rose petals, or you can use the rose hips, the fruit. You can pair it with chamomile, cinnamon, linden, which is tilio, cacao, and any other type of herb. You can take a bath with rose petals, which is very nice. You can make a hydrosol, which is the water that comes out when you're making an essential oil. You can spray it on your face. You can probably find it in a cosmetic store. You can dry rose petals and burn them as incense, or you can use rose petals in baking. So it's a very nice plant to have in a nice cake. Any questions about rose? Ωραία. Yes.
Είναι τα πέταλα από το λόγο μπορούν να χρησιμοποιηθούν ως κάποιο θεραπευτικό, έτσι, όπως και...
Sorry. Slower.
Sorry. Can the petals of the rose be used as medicine, just raw?
Yes. Yes, you can use it. Okay, so if you're going to use rose petals, you want to be sure where you're buying it from. So make sure it's quality, or a quality plant that was not sprayed with pesticides or it doesn't have anything on it, so it's clean. And you could eat it. You could use it. You can dip it in chocolate. You could put it in cakes. You could, yeah, it's edible. Yeah, you can make a face mask and put rose petals on your face. Yeah, there's nothing toxic about rose. So you can have a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Any species. You just want to be sure that the quality is good. Yeah, exactly. Ωραία, okay. Here's my email and my website and my Instagram. So if you want to get in touch with me, here's my information. I have 2 books on the table. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but one is about the National Garden, where I do tours, and the other is about mountains in Greece. So, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ και ναι, ευχαριστώ.